heard of the case of George Calombaris from MasterChef, who owns several restaurants, and the difficulties he's in at the moment in terms of underpaying salaries to former and current employees? The outlay he's had to pay as a result of not properly having in place employment practices is he's had to pay over $7.8 million to former and current employees. He's had to pay $200,000 in penalties. He now has to pay for annual auditors to go in and make sure that he's complying with his obligations in terms of paying employees, and had to make a public apology, which is obviously very embarrassing to him and detrimental to his public image and also that of his business. So I'm here to give you 5 tips of how to avoid being in the same situation as George Calombaris. So I'm Holly Edmondson, I'm the principal of Blossom Lawyers. The first way, to avoid being in the same trap is to make sure that you go and have a look at your employment contracts. Make sure they're properly drafted, preferably by an employment lawyer. If you don't have any employment contracts in place, get them in place. It's very important that you're able to set out the terms and conditions of each person's employment. Secondly is to determine what modern award each employee is covered under. So you might have several employees within the same business but covered under different modern awards. So depending on whether it's an industry award or whether it's an occupation award will determine what award those employees fall under, and therefore what their minimum entitlements should be under that award. So you need to go away and research what award each person should be under. Number 3, you need to then ascertain what classification they fall under. So that will determine what, yes, they might fall under that award, but what particular amount they should be getting per hour. So you need to establish what their minimum wage should be, and then on top of that, whether they're entitled to any overtime payments or penalty rates. Number 4, you need to go back and reconcile the days and times that your employees have worked. So just to make sure that you are properly paying them not only their base salary, but based on any overtime and penalties that they've been entitled to, make sure they're getting paid for that. Fifthly, if their person isn't under an award, so if they fall outside of any of the classifications or the awards themselves, it means that they just come down to a common law contract, and that way you need to make sure that you're paying them the national minimum wage. So go away, have a look at your employment contracts, make sure that they comply, make sure that they're properly covered under the awards, you've done your research, you've applied it, and if you have any questions or get stuck, need help, then send me a message or comment below and I'll get back to you. Thanks.